Should be a fun one tonight in more ways than one at Highmark Stadium in Pittsburgh as the Riverhounds welcome Orange County. It is dollar beer night. It is 80s night. It should be a rad time as these two playoff position teams do battle. Happy to have you with us on ESPN+. Alongside the former pro, Chris Nurse, I'm Joe Malfa. These two teams come in right now in very good form. Pittsburgh sitting in 5th in the East, trying to leapfrog into one of the home playoff positions. Same could be said of Orange County, sitting in 7th in the West, but everything is really tight right now. Chris, both of these teams playing probably the best football they have all season at this point.
Yeah, for Pittsburgh, they're returning to where we expected to see them earlier in the season. For Orange County, they've definitely hit a streak of form, found themselves in a good position, but they can't get too comfortable. They're 5 places off second position in the league, but they're also 5 places off the bottom.
On the Pittsburgh side, it's 6 unbeaten in league play. It's 8 unbeaten overall. They've done it in a variety of ways. They've gotten into some shootouts when they've had to. They've been able to nurse the 1-0 leads. They've pretty much done it all in Republic this season.
I see what you did there with nursing the 1-0 lead, but what's given them a good foundation is their defense. They have the second best defense in the league. I think one area they've got to prove is their offensive output, and they've started to do that of recent with Augie Williams starting to find a little bit more form and confidence.
Augie Williams coming off that goal last game, and it's a big milestone for him as well. 4th to 80 goals in USL Championship history, and he can continue to climb the leaderboard tonight. He is 1 goal back of 2nd place in league history. On the other side, for Orange County, they've started to find their own way in the attack. Last 2 games, 4 goals in each, 6 different goal scorers.
Yeah, and Zubek's been the guy who started to have an uptick, but the good thing about them is they don't have that one player right now that's capable of getting 15, 20 goals a season. They've had a number of different scorers who have been able to contribute them into winning games. So I think that's been important in their success, is having a number of different goal scorers.
And if there is one guy who can be that double-digit goal scorer, we saw it last year, it's Ethan Zubek. He's starting to heat up now at the right time.
Yeah, he has just 5 goals on this season. So as we mentioned, he's not being extremely prolific, but he is their go-to guy, whether he's finishing himself or holding up the ball and allowing others to support the play. He's been very important in the attack.
Now, these two teams obviously don't meet often with the nature of the cross-conference meeting here, but both coaches, Danny Stone for Orange County and Bob Lilly for the Pittsburgh Riverhounds, were very complimentary of each other. They were both looking forward to this matchup for a number of different reasons. For Pittsburgh, it's some revenge. Orange County came this way last year, and they left Highmark Stadium with a 2-0 victory. It's Pittsburgh and Orange County next on ESPN+.
Happy 811 Day. Are you planting a tree or installing a new fence? Call 811 3 to 10 business days before you dig. It's your ticket to avoiding an underground utility catastrophe in your neighborhood. Safety is in your hands. Every dig, every time.
At AHN, good heart care starts before you're just not feeling right. Before you say, it'll go away on its own. Before it doesn't. Because before an emergency, there's time to stop heart problems with a simple preventative heart check. At AHN, we see you.
Ready to get things going here in Pittsburgh as the teams take the field. It's Orange County visiting the Pittsburgh Riverhounds. Let's meet the starting lineups here. Brought to you by IC Light. We'll start with the home Pittsburgh Riverhounds. Chris, this is a Bob Lilly side that really hasn't changed much since the early season. There was a shift at some point there. They've been pretty consistent over the last number of weeks.
Yeah, and their formation gives them the fluidity. Sometimes it can be 3-5-2, it can go into 3-4-3, and they can drop into 5 at the back end and have the 2 6s in front, which has been the foundation that's allowed them to have so much success in not conceding too many goals this season. They've conceded just 15 goals this season. The only team that's conceded less is Louisville, who are currently top of the standings.
Cohen Supermarkets starting 11s. We'll go from Pittsburgh now to Orange County. And on the Orange County side, we highlighted Zubac already, the scoring he's been doing recently, but Usman Silla playing underneath him as the 10, with Chris Hagart coming off the left. They've been outstanding.
Yeah, and again, these formations have so much flexibility. They can play
situationally in terms of the standings. A lot of impacts for both these sides. Pittsburgh sitting on 26 points. A win could get them into 3rd place in the Eastern Conference. On the other side for Orange County, a win would bring them possibly into 4th, depending on how other results go. So for both these teams, both above the playoff lines in both conferences, both could get above the home game playoff line in the top 4 with a win tonight. It's Pittsburgh going from right to left in their black and yellow. Orange County from left to right in the orange and black. Riverhounds in good form right now, unbeaten in the last 8 matches overall. Augie Williams, Bertrand Jacquesin on track, both scoring last week in the win over Rhode Island. Orange County putting 4 past Phoenix last week. Back-to-back regular season games for Orange County, scoring 4 or more. Can they keep it going? And away we go here on the banks of the Monongahela River. Pittsburgh Riverhounds, Orange County. With Chris Nurse, I'm Joe Malva. Happy to have you with us on ESPN+.
for Pittsburgh, as you mentioned, unbeaten in their last 8 games in all competitions, and they've started to return to the type of form that we've been accustomed to seeing them in previous years. They still find themselves 15 points off the top of the table, and I think on a season reflection, Bob Lilly be a little bit disappointed that Loudoun, Louisville and Charleston have been able to run away with the competition for number 1 so early in the season, but they're now starting to find themselves up there for the home playoff position, competing with North Carolina and Loudoun right now.
Here's Nicola Ciota. He's come along, the 19-year-old Academy product. He's been a regular starter in recent weeks for Orange County. Tom Brewitt, throwback shirt tucked in, captain for Orange County. Ciota, War is brought down.
Orange County find themselves in their own unique situation. They started the night in 6th position. They've actually dropped down 7th in the live standings, but they're just 5 points off being 2nd in the Western Conference. However, they're also just 5 points off from being bottom of the Western Conference. So it's not a position that they're in right now where they can afford to get too comfortable. A bad run of 3 games and they can drop very quickly, but a continued run of 3 games and they can quickly climb up the standings into one of those home playoff positions. They're currently scored 9 goals in their past 3 games, picking up 9 points, conceding just 1 goal. So they're in a very, very rich run of form right now.
And with that, we'll take a look at the keys to the game. Lumber 84 building a win. What you got for us, Chris?
Yeah, for Orange County, on their rich streak of form in those 3 wins they've got, they've scored the first goal in each of those games. So to continue that momentum, I think it's very important that they get the first goal here tonight, especially against a Pittsburgh defense that doesn't give much away. As we mentioned, only conceded 15 goals this season. Only Louisville have conceded less with just 14. For Pittsburgh, increase their offensive output. While they've been very good defensively, they joint bottom in Eastern Conference for goals scored, just 17 so far this season, which isn't a rich vein of form. For them to really go on and push to win the championship, they're going to have to improve that offensive output, along with maintaining their current defensive form.
Always Pittsburgh maintained defensive form under Bob Lilly. We tested, though, in this one against this recently potent Orange County attack. Chatting with Danny Stone, asked him, does he think it's just 2 games back-to-back where you don't want to get too high because you're not quite sure if something has clicked yet, or if you feel like this team has turned a corner? He said, no, we absolutely feel like we've turned a corner, and there's something now that we've unlocked. He said it's been building for weeks, where it was just a matter of time. This team was on the brink of that breakout. They finally hit it. We'll see if they can keep it going now on the road in a difficult place to play, but an early corner for Orange County.
And both of these teams have lost key players this season. For Orange County, they lost Kyle Scott, who was one of the most influential, if not one of the best midfielders in the league. Of course, he struggled with some injuries, but he's a big loss for the leadership of the team.
Replaced him with Stephen Kelly, who takes this corner. Out to Hagar, whipped in. The shoulder of Sean Suber. Starting to get more of a rhythm now, Stephen Kelly in that midfield role that Kyle Scott vacated.
And for Pittsburgh, of course, they lost Canado Forbes. While he remains with the organization in a coaching capacity, his ability to get assists on field is very, very hard to replicate. You're looking at one of the top USL performers of all time.
Usman still up for Ethan Zubak. Stephen Kelly, back post. Oh, he was there for Hagar. He was offside. There's your first look here, just a few minutes in. Really good sustained attack here for the visitors.
Yeah, great ball from Kelly there. Just picks the space in between the fullback and the centre back. Hagar just slides. It's a great delivery, trading passes that can hurt you. Just mentioning about both of these teams losing key players. I think one of the things of great teams, or you're looking at the top teams, and Louisville have also lost top players over the years. And you look at Charleston losing Marcanic. I was one of the people who believed losing a player who just got you 30 games a season was going to be extremely hard to replace, and it was going to be a very tough season for them to find somebody to fill their gap or to reinvent how they play in order to fill their gap. But you can look how they're doing this season. Unless you know or you saw Marcanic play and you saw the impact he had, you would never think that they lost their top striker who has the record for goals scored. They're right up there alongside Louisville, 41 points, keeping good clean sheets, only 16 goals conceded, 38 goals scored. So they're actually the leaders in goals scored in the championship, despite losing probably one of the best strikers that the USL Championship has seen. So I think it's a common trait that the best teams find a way to. The players are going to go on to Europe. They are going to go on to MLS. You are going to lose your top talents. You're just having the ability to quickly pivot and reinvent yourself and sustain your status at the top of the table is very, very rewardable.
Orange County have done that in recent years with Milan Olaski going on to Europe. Able to replace that production this year through a number of guys. Ethan Zubak now up to 5 goals. Starting to get those contributions from Chris Hagar, from Usman Silla, from Mohamedou War. We showed you top of the broadcast 6 goal scorers of the 8 goals they've scored in the last 2 games. 6 unique goal scorers. Another chance on a free kick here, Stephen Kelly. Putting Pittsburgh on the back foot in the early stages here. Taking it to them in their place. This has been one of the toughest venues to come play for any team. It's just behind Zubak, claiming it took a deflection. Out for a goal kick, and we'll take a look at the injury report brought to you by Allegheny Health Network, the official medical provider of the Pittsburgh Riverhounds. O'Toole and Osamanu on the list for Pittsburgh. Nothing reported officially for Orange County. Augie Williams, flag stays down. Williams centering, took a deflection, settled. Griffin trying to get something off, but pops up awkwardly. Biasi. Williams, flag stays down again. Overlap there from Biasi. Vactor. Pittsburgh will reset through Suber and all the way back to Eric Dick.
I think when you look at both of these rosters and you look at the compilation of the rosters at the beginning of the season, there's not too many changes for Pittsburgh, while they have started to perform better at the beginning of the year. So it's just been a case of evolving and growing and finding the chemistry and the right combinations as the season's progressed. For Orange County, there's been a number of changes, and I think for me, one of the biggest influences or one of the biggest emerging players in midfield has been Sear. I think his influence in the midfield over the past few games has been absolutely outstanding, and he's a player that a lot of teams are going to be paying attention to.
Yeah, Usman Silla was somebody that Bob Lilly spotlighted in their scout of Orange County that they had to keep at bay tonight. Biasi carves one long. Settled by Griffin. Gets it back, Danny Griffin. Edrach. Vactor. Center back stepping high right now for the Riverhounds. Biasi. Wrong-footed Edrach. Orange County can go through Hagar. Here's Silla. Usman Silla tried to release through for Mohamedou War. Early in the season, Usman Silla was starting. He was playing, but chatting with Danny Stone, he felt this was his first year at a proper, more physical, professional level. Last year playing in MLS Next Pro, he didn't want to throw any shade at the league, Danny Stone, but it's different. It's more younger players, more developmental. It's less in your face, less physical. And your first year moving from that league to this league can take a toll on you physically. It has for Usman Silla. The middle portion of this season, talking late April to early June, he was really reeling in terms of his physical state. Some injuries nagging him. Now he's fully fit physically. He's more of the mindset of how this league operates. It's all clicking for Usman Silla now. And as a result, been clicking for Orange County.
Yeah, he has the ability in midfield to create. He has a very good ability of carrying the ball forward and driving with the ball, and he can also finish chances himself, and he's fairly tenacious and hard-working. I think he's filled a big hole in that midfield and is very influential in this team. I actually think he's a type of player that Bob Lilly really likes.
No doubt watched plenty of in college across all of USL Championship. I don't know that anybody scouts the college ranks as intently and as heavily as Bob Lilly, and with Pittsburgh being right in their backyard, ACC school, best conference in college soccer, he saw Usman Silla a time or two against the Pitt Panthers, and no doubt liked what he saw. Had a good conversation with him about that this week. Silla, a player he's had his eye on for 3-4 years, and been happy to actually see him develop now here at this level.
Yeah, I think one of the key characteristics that Bob really recruits is mentality and character, and that's something you can only understand after watching a player 3, 4, 5, 6 times, and maybe seeing them in your practice sessions for a couple of weeks, because the demands that Bob Lilly places on his players and the things that he requires of them, you have to have a certain mindset, mentality and work ethic to be able to execute and to be successful in the environment. So he's very, very particular in the type of person and the player that he recruits.
Bounces beyond Biasi.
You can see when Pittsburgh do get good possession of the ball, they spread the back 3 wide and allows Biasi and Barnes to get very high and wide and expose those spaces in the channels. They really try to stretch this Orange County defense.
Augie Williams comes in awkwardly undercutting Nico Benalcazar. He's waving the trainers over himself, Benalcazar. He is writhing in pain.
Williams just kind of body checks him as he goes up for the ball. Not sure whether it's the contact or it's how he lands. Probably more so how he lands. You can see it's a little bit awkward there. He doesn't really get to protect himself too well. I don't think it's anything malicious there from Williams.
Trainer working on that right arm.
A little bit of 80s music, given the 80s theme night.
Fans have dollar beer night as well to enjoy. Grab one of the cold ones and bring it over for Benalcazar to just ice his wrist here, it seems like. He is still trying to wave that hand. Been in this position before. Back before I decided to do the sensible thing, put the headset on and put the cleats away. I broke my wrist one time, and in that moment, your natural instinct is to like wave it because it's in pain, and then by doing that, it makes it 10 times worse. And it seemed like he just did the same exact thing, where he went to wave it, try to shake out that pain psychologically, and realized that, oh, that's going to make it feel even worse. Now he's keeping it still.
I think I did exactly the same thing going up for a header, and it was actually Poku from Miami FC who did exactly the same thing to me, just nudged me at the waist and ended up landing in a similar fashion. Ended up breaking my wrist on that occasion.
He is keeping it immobilized right now.
Strapped it up and played on, of course, Joe. There was no coming off the pitch.
It seems like that's what he wanted to do. He just had the trainer come over, and the trainer had the tape in hand, but the trainer just seemed to give the universal sign for a substitution over to the bench, as if the trainer sees it differently and doesn't think he can continue. See who wins that argument. They are about to start taping his wrist down there, it appears. The trainer just started that tape job on the right wrist. Benalcazar. So maybe they're prepared for both possibilities here. Trainer made that substitution signal over to the coach. In the meantime, going to tape it up and see if he can go.
Still a long way away from half-time. A good 30 minutes, so just depending on how much pain it's causing him. Hopefully, Augie Williams doesn't try to shake his hand for the next 30 minutes.
they've taped it up. He's jogging back to midfield, and he will continue. So after the substitution signal was made, and Alcazar wins that argument. He'll come back on. He's waved back on. So right away back to 11v11, but a mummified right wrist now of Ben Alcazar. Perrin Barnes, Kenny Griffin. Griffin looking over the top for Jacquesin. Amadou War brought down. Held by Jackson Walty. That pairing of Jackson Walty and Danny Griffin in the defensive midfield, they cover everything for Pittsburgh.
Yeah, they make the jobs a little bit easier for the back four. The way they're able to close space, shut down the center of the park, force teams to go wide. It gives the center backs a lot of confidence, and also the goalkeeper. It starts with communication coming through, but the tenacious and the amount of work ethic, the amount of ground they're able to cover protects the defense. I think you often see when there's just one pivot and one defensive midfielder, there's often large spaces either side of them that teams are able to get success playing in between.
War looking for Silla, backtracking again. In that midfield, Walty.
And I think this is sometimes a lot of the work that goes unrewarded is when teams are putting in very good, tenacious defensive performances, which can be Pittsburgh a lot of times. It's the truth. Defense often wins championships, and goals will win you games. So sometimes fans get a little carried away with the style and the multiple goal games, but having a complete defense who work hard and organized and compact is really the foundation of success. I think that the tough job is to find the balance between two, having a really good offense and having an extremely good defense. And I think that Louisville are actually doing a really good job of that this year. In previous seasons, Danny Cruz spoke about being a little bit more offensive-minded and conceding some of their defensive stability in terms of having that exciting style of play. But this season, they went back to the basics of trying to be more defensively compact, concede less goals, as well as increasing their offensive output. There's been games when they've not possessed the most ball whatsoever, but they ran away with the game 4-1. If you didn't watch it live, you would have thought it was a very one-sided game. So I think they're doing a good job of addressing the balance and adjusting how they play season on season. I think Pittsburgh are still trying to figure out how to continue to have a high goal scoring output in the absence of Conrado Forbes. His ability to create for his teammate.
Is Vegas, 4-1 win over Phoenix and a 1-0 win in between there against Oakland in Jägermeister Cup. So all told, last 3 games, they've only conceded the 1 goal while scoring 9 with those 2 outbursts of 4 in the Phoenix and Vegas matches. And that was part of the conversation we had with Danny Stone, where as happy as they've been with the offensive outburst these last few weeks, what he's enjoyed most about it is it hasn't come at the expense of conceding more goals. Sometimes, to your point, you'll see teams go from scoring 1 a game to scoring 3 a game. You'll also go ahead and give up 2 and win those games 3-2. Not this Orange County team these last couple of games. They've maintained their defensive prowess in the meantime.
Yeah, I think the outlier is Las Vegas. For some reason, every game they play right now, they're conceding 4 and 5 goals. So they're unfortunately manipulating the stats a little bit and allowing things to be a little bit misleading. It's a club that's going through a number of changes. They just changed their coach again, but the first thing they have to fix over there in Las Vegas is they have to stop conceding as many goals as they are, because they're doing great things for the confidence of some of the teams and the goal scoring output. I think for Orange County, every team needs that one striker who's able to get 10, 15, hopefully 20 goals a year. And as you mentioned, right now Zubek has 5. They're sharing the goal scoring output, spread evenly amongst the team. But the champions, they always have that one player who's able to turn the game around. When maybe the team's not playing so well, they're able to create something out of nothing for themselves. And at the moment, it's hard to identify who that key player has been. As you mentioned before, it was Milan Alowski. He's obviously moved on a little bit of time ago, but they've been unable to replace him with somebody who just has that offensive skill set.
Went over to Europe, Milan Alowski, then from Europe to San Diego in MLS, and they could not quite iron out a deal after he started scoring goals at will, so he ends up with Philadelphia Union. The USL on CBS Sports Network continues. Championship Eastern Conference playoff contenders North Carolina FC and Detroit City FC face off Friday, August 15th at 7:30 Eastern on CBS Sports Network. Flicked on by Williams and cleared. Williams. Why the snicker there, Chris?
Ciotta there taking one for the team. ballsy defending there from Ciotta.
Luke Biasi wants to launch this one long. He does. Glance down toward the penalty spot. Jacqueson nods it down. Augie Williams was lurking. Getting those two on the same page is the key right now for Pittsburgh. Biasi, they both scored in that last game, the win over Rhode Island. There's been times this year where one's been injured, the other one's been in better form. They haven't synced up. They've had a few starts together, but last week was their best performance together. Bob Lilly saying they're starting to figure out how to play with each other. So there were too many times early in the year where they'd both be occupying the same space, and he'd be watching from the sideline like, look, one of you's got to go do something. You can't stay in the same spot. They just have the same tendencies, and it's been a problem, but starting to figure it out a little bit more. Last week, any indication with a goal each that maybe it's turning, and if those two can really get off and running, playing together, that's a warning for the rest of the league as well.
Yeah, both of them can provide tremendous problems for the defense. Their ability to press for the front, also their ability to run in behind on the counter-attack and stretch teams. At the moment, I feel like Pittsburgh just need to possess the ball a little bit longer in the midfield to create those moments to stretch the teams. At the moment, they're not really holding on to the ball long enough.
Ward tracking it back for Zubak. Dick gathers.
Long enough to get Orange County high up enough to then spring Williams in behind, making those runs.
Fans, please remember that Highmark Stadium is a family-friendly environment. We ask that you enjoy yourself, but also do so in a responsible way that's considerate of those around you. Thank you so much for joining us tonight.
Riverhounds fans, you can stay proud and sporty with Riverhounds gear, whether you're hitting the game or going out. Show your team spirit with exclusive merchandise. Find all your favorites at the merch booth or shop online at riverhounds.com. Neither side yet with an effort at goal in this one.
Both teams with a couple of careless giveaways in the middle of the park there.
Dangerous service there. Headed away by Brewitt. Pinballing around. Now Biasi. Head for Edrach, cutting in. Edrach works it back. Mertz. Biasi. Stumbled over it, regained his balance. Silla does so well manipulating his body, putting it between defenders and the ball. Draws the hack, and the yellow card shown to Beto Edrach.
See here, this does a great job of picking up that second ball in the middle of the park.
Yellow card against the Riverhounds, number 16, Beto Edrach.
Orange County was just under a little bit of pressure there, and it was Ciotta and Partida here on this right-hand side. Just needed to be a little bit better in their defensive actions. They're rushing in, jumping in the air, and getting beat with the fake.
Back post. Not a bad idea for Mohamedou War. Williams dropping in deep here, and he commits the foul. Free kick at a good spot for Orange County. That's a double whammy. First things first, I don't know if Bob Lilly's going to be happy seeing a striker drop in that deep where you're taking yourself out of the play, and then on top of that, he compounds it, Augie Williams, conceding this foul.
Yeah, I think it wasn't the best first touch from Williams. And then it looked like he just did well and just ran the other side. I don't think there was too much wrong there. I think Partida maybe got a bit deceived by the touch and ended up losing his balance himself. I'm not sure it's a foul from Williams there whatsoever.
and Kelly standing over it. From this distance and this central location, take your pick. It's not the best location for a service. It's difficult for a strike from here. You just play it short, play it wide, and have somebody else deliver it from a better angle.
Definitely looks like he's more interested in delivering for his teammates than going for target himself.
Brewitt, header square, and Dick with it again. Was out for a goal kick either way.
Definitely something that they've worked on in training. He knew if he puts it up in the area that Brewitt's not going to lose that header. It just needed to be a little bit better redirected header from Brewitt across goal to give his teammates the chance to put it into the back of the net, but his header was out of play.
Make sure to get your hands on these delicious new options today.
Williams, advantage played. Perrin Barnes. Never really got anything done with it. Would have liked the free kick when all was said and done. Riverhounds fans, join us next home game, Saturday, August 16th, a week from tonight, against the Charleston Battery for our Spotlight Series featuring Jake the Snake Roberts. Get your tickets today at riverhounds.com.
Jake the Snake, was he one of your favorite wrestlers back in the day?
Not my favorite.
Not a fan of snakes?
No.
Nah, me neither.
Keep those away from me.
Used to have it in the bag. Remember, he used to have it in the bag.
You know, he is deathly afraid of snakes himself.
No way.
He just thought it would be a good story to have one. Wow. So it became his character, but he's deathly afraid of the snakes. There's a lesson in there about facing your fears, Chris. What's your biggest fear? Is it spiders, snakes? What you got?
Oh, no, I'm definitely not a fan of snakes.
Clowns for me. Not clowns. Cohen Markets corner kick coming here for Pittsburgh. Oh, the whole crowd gets rickrolled. Can this attack get on a roll? Outswinger. Not it away. A reminder for those of you at home, it is 80s night here at the stadium. So if you're wondering why, or if there's a theme to all the music selection, yes, there is actually. There's also dollar beer night, so if you start hearing some karaoke versions, you also know why. Walty gives it away. It's been a very physical first portion of this match for these two sides, and there's no rivalry here. They don't play often, just once a year these last couple of years after the league has gone to this scheduled format of playing every team once, cross-conference games. But you could sense there's an urgency in this game. It's a litmus test for both these teams. Playoff team in one conference, playoff team in the other conference, two teams in great form. This is certainly a measuring stick game.
Yeah, right now it looks like the first goal is more likely to come from a mistake or a set piece. I don't think we've seen any meaningful saves from either Shuttler or Dick in the opening 30 minutes of this game. It's been a lot of this little late tackles, little late free kicks, choppiness, the ball, lots of lost possession in the center of the park. Both teams kind of feeling each other out, and that's the game we expected given the run of form. Charleston, obviously, they don't give a lot away in terms of goal scoring opportunities. Pittsburgh don't give a lot away in terms of goal scoring opportunities to their opponents. And Orange County have been on a rich streak of form lately, proving well, better team performances. I wouldn't say any one individual has been the difference maker. It's been a very collective performance from the team. So very evenly matched out team so far in this game.
Jacqueson joins Edrach in the book. Amadou War, he's shoved down. Referee thought about it. He moved the whistle to the mouth, but decided against it. Goal kick coming.
You could, again, in this situation, maybe the defending is a little overzealous. While he does well to close down, maybe he doesn't need to make body contact in that situation, seeing where the ball's traveling and seeing where the attacker is facing. There's no threat and goal whatsoever. The referee could have given a free kick in that situation. It would have been a cheap free kick to give away, and I think this is what we've seen a lot of in these opening 28 minutes. A very chippy, scrappy game so far.
USL on ESPN2 continues with Championship Western Conference powerhouse Phoenix Rising taking on Eastern Conference Tampa Bay Rowdies in a Saturday night showdown. That's August 16th at 9 p.m. on ESPN2. A rematch of the final that never was back in 2020. Canceled due to COVID. It was Phoenix, it was Tampa Bay who got through. Tampa Bay got back there the next year. And they are the reason that there's a star above the crest for Orange County here in this one. 2021 final. Orange County going on the road and winning it over Tampa Bay, hoping to get back there again this year.
Good
Silla
play from Orange County.
Finds Ciota. War. Half an hour into this one. Glad to have you with us. With Chris Nurse, I'm Joe Malfa. Usman Silla looking through.
There's just nobody in that area making the run. Maybe he's looking for Zubek more centrally, but he delivered it towards the far post, and there was just nobody in that area. But it was the first time there we saw Orange County get the ball down and switch the point of attack, moving the ball in 1 and 2 touches with good pace in the passes.
40th minute of tonight's match.
A lot of contact there along the sideline. Free kick for the Riverhounds. All fans getting into the 80s theme. Biasi. One shot for Pittsburgh, none for Orange County. Come to be used to this at times in some of these Pittsburgh games, just the way they play stylistically.
It's a waste of possession there for Pittsburgh. They're doing a great job of stretching Orange County, as we mentioned, with Barnes and Biasi using the width. But when the ball gets out to those two wide players, this is where you want to see them use their 1v1 ability, having the ability to get the ball down and take players on, deliver crosses into the box, combined with the forwards playing 1-2s and getting in behind. At the moment, that's not been on display. There was one moment when, yes, there was a couple of crosses that came in from this left-hand side, but it's not been a consistent enough given the 1v1 opportunities that they're getting in those areas.
Played through, heavy touch. Eddie Griffin, like that one back. The 26-year-old's been a mainstay for Pittsburgh ever since 2020. Took a brief hiatus, venturing into MLS Next Pro in the Nashville organization in 2023. After half of a season there, returned home to Pittsburgh. He's been here ever since again. Winning the captain's armband this year passed to him after Coronado Forbes went from the playing field to the assistant coach's chair.
Both these teams really well organized, not allowing a ton of space. And this is where players who are able to dribble the ball become so valuable, because they'll drive forward with the ball and they'll attract pressure from two or three defenders, and that's going to open up space for their teammates to receive the ball.
Silla chopped down by Williams. It's a couple of times now. Augie Williams has committed a foul, and there you see it. Referee starts counting. You are in trouble. So both strikers with yellows here for Pittsburgh, as well as Beto Idrach, center back.
Yeah, that's the third yellow card for Pittsburgh in this opening half. Sia just doing exactly what we're talking about, showing a little bit of ability to pick up the ball and run with it, attract three players, gets a free kick from the contact of Williams. But that's what they need, a little bit more to create opportunities in this game. Somebody has to take the ball and be a little bit more creative with it.
Bob Lilly was relaying something that he saw on that play to his bench. Always has the wheels turning, chatting with his players and assistant coaches. Another set piece here, Stephen Kelly. The backspin toward the back of the box. Same thing they tried last time, getting it over to Tom Brewitt and having him head it square into the traffic, but second time it hasn't come off.
I'm not the big stat guy, Joe, but expected goals in this game so far. For Orange County, 0, and for Pittsburgh, 0.01. It doesn't look like this is going to be a high-scoring affair based upon the data.
Not through 33.5 minutes, at least.
Just one shot for Pittsburgh, 0 shots for Orange County. Both teams 0 shots on target, 0 shots in the box. As we mentioned, neither goalkeeper has really been challenged or tested in these opening 33 minutes. A very cagey affair, scrappy free kicks.
The .01 expected goals also shows how weak the one shot was for Pittsburgh. Just digging a little bit deeper, some education hour here for the fans at home. Maybe not the most familiar with expected goals. It's still relatively new these last couple of years. Every shot you take has some sort of expected goals percentage assigned to it. So for the one shot that Pittsburgh took to have a .01 expected goals total means that shot would be expected to go in 1 out of 100 times. So yeah, there has not been a lot so far in this one with 10 to go in the first half in terms of attacking football.
And we know that Bob Liddy's Pittsburgh, they're not going to give you anything. If you're going to score against them, you're going to have to earn it. You're going to have to create it. It's going to have to be something respectable. Orange County haven't really shown that capability so far in the opening 34 minutes. There's not anything that's shown threat in terms of being able to consistently attack around the outside, in terms of somebody being able to drive through and take on 2 or 3 players and create an opportunity for themselves. There's not been anything that stood out as being in the threat that's going to get the first goal of this game.
Although sometimes in games like this, that goal does come when you least expect it, be it out of a moment of brilliance or the team capitalizing on a mistake. And then the whole game gets turned on its head.
And I think you also have to look at the objective of the team. Traveling from Orange County to Pittsburgh and leaving at the end of 90 minutes with a point isn't necessarily the worst result that could happen to you. Sometimes maybe you get halfway through the second half and you're like, okay, a point's a good result. If we can leave here with 1 point, we'd rather take that than end up leaving with 0 points. So it also depends on the objective of the team tonight. If the objective is stay very tight, very compact, don't give much away, which they've done very well so far in this game, then they're on target to accomplishing their goal. There's still opportunities from set pieces. We know that in games like this, it's a mistake, it's a set piece. Very rarely it can be something spectacular where somebody just lets rip from 30 yards and catches the goalkeeper off guard. So I think that despite the lack of chances, Orange County may not be too frustrated with the way the game's going. I think who may be frustrated a little bit is the home fans. You know, they come out, they want to see excitement, they want to see flair, they want to see goal scoring opportunities. Most teams want to see their team score multiple times, especially at home. So I think if there's any frustration or anything of that nature, I think it may come from the home fans themselves, where they're expecting Pittsburgh to come here and put on a show.
Yeah, Chris, I don't mean to disagree with you, but I don't think the fans are too disappointed tonight. It is dollar beer night after all. I think they're plenty okay with these first 35 minutes. It's been more opportunity to go online and grab another one.
Well, hopefully nobody spent $20 yet. Hopefully they put a $5 limit on. If it's me, make it a $2 limit.
Played through from Kelly. Partita, first to it. It's felt like Orange County have been the first to some of those loose balls more often than Pittsburgh in this one, but really there's nothing separating these teams. Possession, 50-50. Neither side yet with a shot on target. Everything has been pretty down the middle so far. You do wonder, though, to the point you were making earlier about Orange County being more content with a draw perhaps in the second half, if Pittsburgh feels differently. In chatting with Bob Lilly these last couple of weeks, had an opportunity to talk about this middle third of the season. He's circled these middle 10 games of the 30 games is where they have to make the most ground in the standings if they want to have a home playoff game. And they've done that so far, but still, within this stretch, he's a little bit disappointed in the number of ties they've had that he feels could have been wins. So as this game goes on, maybe it is Pittsburgh opening up more than Orange County, trying to turn the tie into a win. And that plays in Orange County's hands because they can go and transition with Silla, with Hagar, with War, with Zubac.
Yeah, I think that's kind of the conundrum that Pittsburgh are in right now.
Williams on the turn, just tried to stab at it, but
with them being so good defensively and not being that great offensively, as we've seen, their defense is one of the best in the league. Their offense at this point in terms of goals scored is one of the worst in the league. So knowing that the defense can keep a clean sheet, if the offense doesn't have good offensive output, they're always going to leave the game with a tie. You start the game with 1 point, you only lose that if you concede, and their defense being as good as they are, more often than not, they leave the game with 1 point because they're very good defensively. They've got to increase how they are offensively to really kick on to the next stage.
War, back to Hagar. Found the areas at times in this attacking third Orange County, but haven't strung anything together once they've gotten there. And the referee will award the free kick here. Is there a card attached to this? Orange County is arguing there should be. Augie Williams at the heart of it. This is going to be a stern final warning, you'd have to imagine.
I mean, it's catch-22. You have to credit his willingness to get involved in the defensive work. If you look here, he's right back on the edge of his 18-yard box defending it. He's also the player responsible with the task of scoring the goals. Number 9s aren't often the best defenders, as you can see from some of the free kicks that he's given away here. But he's willing to do the defensive work on behalf of the team, and for that part you have to credit. He just has to have a little bit more emotional control, be a little bit smarter with the challenges that he goes into. As you can see, he's still very hot here. He's got to calm himself down. His captain's got to calm him down, get his emotions under control, and allow him to make smarter choices and smarter decisions, because one more poor choice and he could lead his team down to 10 men.
4 goals this season after 10 last year within the 11. Big reason that team was able to have success in the regular season, make it to the Open Cup semifinal. Stephen Kelly looking back, post a header! There it is! You said it, Chris. A set piece, a mistake, something in a tight game like this would be the difference. It's a set piece off of a mistake, and Ethan Zubak scores for a 3rd game running.
And it's no surprise that Kelly's been the player to deliver this assist. You look at the chance that Hegart was offside for early in the first half. You look at the set-piece delivery that he delivered earlier in the game. All 3 are similar deliveries. On this occasion, Zubek just gets up to the ball above everybody else. Fantastic contact, headers it down towards the corner, gives the goalkeeper no chance. I would say against the run of play, but it's not against the run of play because it's been fairly evenly matched. Just one moment of quality has made the difference and given Orange County the lead.
Up to 6 goals now this season, a goal in 3 straight games. We were just saying it no more than 5 minutes ago. A game this tight, no chances yet for Orange County. That's their first shot of the game. But when a game is this tight, it's a mistake, it's a set piece, it's something like that you're looking to. It's a mental error by Augie Williams. It's a set piece for Orange County. It's a goal for Orange County. And now let's see how these teams respond so close to halftime.
And that's the key now, is how they respond. For Dick, I think he's frustrated. He's had 8 shutouts this season. He won't be getting a shutout again tonight. For Orange County, we had one of the keys to their game being to score the first goal. When they've scored the first goal,
Augie Williams trying to get it back, and it's saved by Colin Shuttler. Almost made amends.
We've gone from 0 chances to 2 really good chances of a similar nature in just 2 minutes. A cross here from the wing, and Williams does so well with this. Just uses the momentum of the ball to guide it towards the far corner. That's great footwork there from Shuttler to scramble across and tip it wide of the post.
Cohen Market's corner kick coming here for Pittsburgh, their 2nd.
We asked for how Pittsburgh were going to respond, and really good response from them after going a goal down.
Mertz from the corner, cleared. Overlap, Griffin out for a throw. Pittsburgh this season 0-7-4 when conceding first in USL play. So if they are to keep their unbeaten run going, the numbers aren't on their side. 4 times this year they've been able to come back and earn at least a point, but have never won after conceding first this year. Point about Orange County excelling when scoring first, Chris. It's the same for Pittsburgh, and that's why this was so important. We mentioned 0-7-4 when conceding first. Pittsburgh, they're 8-1 when scoring first. Bob Lilly's sides over the years so good at just locking things down when they get that first goal. 1-0. I'm sure if you were to go through it all, 1-0 has to be the most common scoreline that's produced by Pittsburgh year over year. It's not going to happen tonight.
The good news is that over the past 6 games, 3 of the past 6 games, they have been able to get multiple goals. They scored 2 against Pittsburgh. They scored 2 against Rhode Island. They scored 2 against Portland Hearts. They scored 2 against Loudoun. So when they are ready, they can put multiple goals into the back of the net, which could obviously turn this game on its head. But as we mentioned, they're not the best goal-scoring team in the USL in either conference right now.
Jacquesin delivering. Did it take a touch? It did, and it also went out. Another corner brought to you by Cohen Markets. Third of this first half for Pittsburgh.
Riverhounds fans, who wants another Cohen corner kick?
See if Orange County can hold on to what they got right now, being the last moments of the first half.
Told there will be 4 minutes of stoppage time there at the end of this first half, so still ample opportunity. Try and find something here as a response for the Riverhounds before break. Merged from the corner. Kept in by Jacquesin. Touched away by Shuttler. We'll redo the corner from this near side now.
Both teams having a number of good chances in the closing stages of the first half. Pittsburgh, great response to going down a goal. Since they've gone down, they've had 2 good chances that forced shaves out of Shuttler in a game where he could have gone and got a coffee and nobody would have realized that he wasn't between the sticks.
The corner again, Shuttler punches away.
I think that might be the 3rd save from Shuttler, all coming in the past 5 minutes.
Barnes cuts it through Griffin. Just lean back on it.
It's a good opportunity there to close out the first half of a shot on target, but just lacked. As we spoke about, while it's not been the most exciting game from a style of play or chance created, Orange County will be very content with how the game is going in their favour. They've not given away a lot in terms of goal-scoring opportunities, and they find themselves going at half-time 1 goal in the lead against Pittsburgh, which is, you can say any time you score against a team like Pittsburgh is a big accomplishment. It will do wonders for their confidence as a group and as a team. And they'll know that as a group they're able to shut games out, they're able to make it tight, they're able to make it very difficult for opponents to play against, and they're able to get goals from set pieces on those moments. Sometimes the ability to score goals or to win games when you're not necessarily playing your best is one of the best skills that you can have, and it'll be interesting to see if they can sustain this over the course of 90 minutes.
Here's Barnes.
As we said, in this team, there's not that one individual player who can flip the game on their head, but they're very good, cohesive units. Kelly's shown that he has the ability, if you leave him around the edge of the 18-yard box, that he can deliver the ball with quality.
Boncilla taking it, striding ahead with options, feeding it through. Zubak. Dick gets there first.
And that's Silla showing some of his best attributes and best qualities. It's not a bad ball at all. You can see, picks up the ball in the midfield, drives forward, tries to slide Zubak in behind. He could have easily stopped and passed backwards or sideways and kept possession and played safe, but he was looking for the killer pass, and it wasn't far away whatsoever.
Factor for Biasi. Biasi was offside.
It'll be interesting, because if there's one thing that we do know, Bob Lilly can get a response out of his team. I think Devin Kerr spoke about coaches getting 20% out of their team. He says that Bob Lilly gets 500% out of his team. So it's going to be interesting to see the fire that he lights in up in them at halftime and how they come out and respond after the break. 1-0 down at home after being on a 8-game unbeaten streak. That's something they're not going to want to give up tonight.
Had some dramatic finishes to keep that unbeaten streak going. Danger whistle to end half number one. It's Orange County 1, Pittsburgh nothing. And a half that was really deadlocked until Zubak off the set piece.
Yeah, I think the danger is Orange County go in content and they come out the second half and maybe try to defend their one-goal lead rather than go for the second. And defending your one-goal lead can be the most dangerous, especially when we expect Pittsburgh to come out aggressively on the front foot, pressing and going after that equalizing goal as early in the second half as possible. So it's going to be interesting to see how Orange County approach having that lead.
There's $11 spent right there here on Dollar Beer Night in Pittsburgh. These Riverhounds fans, maybe not too happy with what they've seen, though, on the field from the first 45 minutes. Have the 84 Lumber halftime show coming up momentarily. As of right now, it's shades of last year where Orange County came on the road and stole 3 points from the Riverhounds, perhaps in position to do so again.
The build. What is it that drives us to follow our dreams, to build them from scratch, from the heart? For us, it's the same ideals of hard work, craftsmanship, and unity that define our great nation. It begins with trusting in yourself and having a team behind you that believes any dream is possible, and that every project is a vision of what can be, of who you are, and the future that you continue to build. From our family to yours, 84 Lumber, where quality and pride come together, one dream at a time.
At AHN, good heart care starts before you're just not feeling right. Before you say, it'll go away on its own. Before it doesn't. Because before an emergency, there's time to stop heart problems with a simple preventative heart check. At AHN, we see you.
Let's make this more interesting. Winner gets...
the new 100 times the cash scratch-off with top prizes of 100 grand.
Oh, it's on.
Just you wait till next time.
Rematch next week?
Let's play it by ear. Keep on scratching.
Welcome into the 84 Lumber halftime show at the break between Pittsburgh and Orange County. Still a long way to go in the USL Championship regular season. We're about 3 months away from a trophy being lifted in this league, but we did just see trophies lifted in both the W League and USL League Two.
BYU is the place to be here tonight as Utah United and NC Courage battling out here for a national championship.
NC Courage looking to defend their title, and Utah United looking to make some history with the first expansion team to win a USL W League final.
Now another shot that falls, it goes in the back of the net! And just like that, Utah United off the foot of Evans Tostado. And now Blood puts it in the back of the net. It's 3-0. Sends one in the back of the net. It's 4-0.
USL 2 National Championship between Ballard FC and the Vermont Green. This is a moment very few of us have ever seen. This is a special moment for soccer and for Burlington. It is going to be a big one. These two teams are loaded with talent. They've both led their conferences, their divisions throughout the year, and a chance for Ballard to make it 2 titles in 3 years, and a chance for Vermont Green to do something no one has done since 2010 and go perfect. Tied to about 3 points to the spot. He rolls it off the post and in. And Vermont Green take the lead in the national championship at Virtue Field. There he is, coast to top once again. Ingay recovers it, curls it back in. Marshall flicks it on, and Kilgore, the national championship goal scorer in NCAA, puts it in 2025. Vermont is the king of soccer, as the Vermont Green win their first ever USL 2 title. And green is the color of victory once again in Burlington, Vermont.
Prinks tires in the USL help soccer journeys everywhere to drive harder. From city playgrounds to suburban sidelines, from early mornings to late nights, from fun with friends to winner takes all, from the biggest fan to the biggest heart. And at every turn, Prinks tires will be there for the long haul.
Cedeno gets it back! 1-0 City!
We all have goals. But let's be honest, most of us aren't going to be professional athletes. But if your goal is to finish your degree, we can help. Come to a university that puts your goals first. Bellevue University, your partner in finishing goals.
Whoa, termites can eat a pound of wood a day. Pound of wood a day.
Pound of wood a day. Pound of wood a day.
What's wrong, Daddy? Daddy? You okay?
Keep termites out of your home and your head with our premium guarantee that covers up to $250,000 in new termite damage. Before panic shows up, Terminix it.
'84 Lumber halftime show rolls on. We'll take a break from our game for a moment and take a broader look around USL Championship with some news and notes. Here we are in the second weekend of August already. Things are coming thick and fast. That includes coaching changes. A new man in Las Vegas, David Rensing, takes over as the head coach, formerly an assistant of the Charleston Battery. Speaking of new coaches, Tampa Bay Rowdies turn a new leaf to Dom Casciato, and that has really helped them every step of the way since that coaching change happened. They're starting to pick up wins, both in league play and Jägermeister Cup play, you name it. They have been on the right track now, those Tampa Bay Rowdies. And speaking of, FC Tulsa flying at the top of the Western Conference at the moment, and more help on the way with Trevor Ammon coming over from Sacramento Republic. And for the Pittsburgh Riverhounds, one thing we've seen this year is their path to pro pathway. Paulo Linzawine, the latest to go from academy to pro.
It was one of the obvious ones in terms of giving him an opportunity at the pro level.
Number 70, Pablo Linzawine.
He had a lot of good foundation in his play.
Signed an academy deal last year in May, third from the Riverhounds Academy to jump into the first team, 18 years old now.
My name is Pablo Linzawine. I play for the 2006-2007 Riverhounds ECNL team and the Pittsburgh Riverhounds first team. Kevin Kerr always pushed me to do my best in training, always being on top of me about just everything, and he always pushed me at the first team. I started training with the first team my freshman year, And that was a big eye-opener for me because I realized, like, wow, like this is what the professional level is like.
Yeah, it's always a big decision to give somebody their debut, especially an academy player. We felt that he had earned it. It was a reward for the work that he put in.
Ain't no better feeling than a cold one in my hand. That's why I'll be keeping Iron City in my plans. Oh, everywhere I roam, I'll be thinking about my home. Sitting pouring on the iron right before I go to rest. And when I'm laying in my bed, there's only one thing in my head. Just an ice cold can of Pittsburgh, PA's best.
Fans are having a grand old time here at Highmark Stadium. That includes Ammo, who is riding around. He's got the neon stuff going. It is 80s night, remember, here. So everybody dressed in some of that throwback gear. Chris, you know all about the 80s. We'll go there at some other time. But for now, we'll take a look at the highlights from that first half, brought to you by 84 Lumber. And to be honest, there wasn't a lot to speak of. It was a relatively quiet first half until the moment finally came for Orange County.
Yeah, it took the 40th minute for that breakthrough goal, but a great delivery here from Kelly. Zubek gets up above everybody, directs this into the far corner, past Dick, into the back of the net. Gave us the first shot on target for Orange County and the first goal of the game.
3 straight games with a goal now in regular season play for Ethan Zubak. Pittsburgh nearly responded immediately.
Yeah, Pittsburgh responded well here. Great header from Williams, just uses the momentum of the ball and tries to guide it into the far corner. But a great reaction save from Shuttler here. Scattles across the goal, pushes it wide of the upright.
And then still in those last few minutes before halftime from the corner, another near opportunity here for Pittsburgh. So really it was a good response to going down a goal, but it took them 42 minutes to really get anything going. The 4 shots and the 1 on target for Pittsburgh all coming in those final few moments of that first half. Need more from them in the second.
Yeah, as we spoke about, if you're Orange County, you're happy with the team that you restricted Pittsburgh to their best chances coming in the 45th minute, and later you got yourself on the score sheet. And your job's not to come away and entertain the away fans. Your job's to come away and try and see if you can take 3 points back. Maybe Pittsburgh, you're happy with 1 for Pittsburgh. Maybe your job is to entertain the home fans, and maybe your job is to win the game by multiple goals. So the pressure is going to be on Pittsburgh in the second half to see how they respond. They've not scored the most goals this year in the USL Championship, but we know that Bob Lilly has a way of getting his teams to respond. They're going to have to come out in the second half, guns blazing. They're going to have to entertain the fans. They're going to have to go after getting 3 points.
Change at the break here as well. Augie Williams departing. He was on a yellow. He was on a yellow and a final warning on that foul that ultimately led to the Orange County goal. So he is lifted for Charles All. fans, the time is 8:11. Don't forget to dial 811 before you dig. Presented by Pennsylvania One Call System. Oh, and that is a masterpiece. Egyptians, we still don't know exactly how they built the pyramids. We do know what these fans have been doing here for the last 45 minutes plus halftime to build this beer pyramid.
Dollar bears are... How many's he got there? 30?
I was trying to count, but like the depth perception's a little off, so I can't tell how many are on the base. But
I hope that's they're sharing the responsibility of building that tower.
I hope they're either sharing the responsibility of the tower or they're giving the responsibility of driving home to somebody else. That's the most important thing. And Charles All looking to drive this attack a little bit better in this second half than it was in the first. He was key last week, playing as a 10 underneath Jacquesin and Augie Williams. See what he could do in the second half now. Pittsburgh left to right in the black and yellow. Orange County right to left in the orange and black. Glad to have you with us from Highmark Stadium with Chris Nurse. I'm Joe Malfa. Orange County looking for a third straight regular season win. And a Jägermeister Cup victory mixed in there as well. Pittsburgh unbeaten in the last 8 in all competitions, 6 in regular season play. But in danger of having that snapped here in a corner to begin this second half for Orange County.
Just the good news. Pittsburgh aren't alone right now. Of the 4 games that started at the same time, Detroit, Indy, Miami, El Paso, Pittsburgh, Orange County, Rhode Island, Loudoun, this is the only game that actually has a goal. The other 3 games are all tied at 0-0 at halftime.
Slip through here, flag stays down for Silla. A little bit of contact there, but nothing will rise to the level of a penalty.
Yeah, you have to envision that the Augie Williams substitution was just a caution, given that the referee had warned him a number of times. He'd given away a number of free kicks, and his next one was probably going to be his second booking.
And behind here, it's a good look for Perrin Barnes. The corner now brought to you by Cohen Markets the other way for Pittsburgh.
This would be an absolutely massive victory for Orange County if they were to sustain this. They've only had 2 road wins all year. I think only one of those coming in the USL Championship, the other in the Cup competition. So to come away to Pittsburgh, one of the toughest places to come away and pick up points and leave with a victory, would be tremendous for their confidence going forward.
Pittsburgh 7-2-2 at home. Mertz from the corner. Still bounding around. Orange County finally clears.
Corners, dead balls and crosses would probably be the creation of most of the goal scoring chances tonight. Definitely a number of chances coming from Pittsburgh's corners in the closing stages of the first half.
Falls through, was here for Vactor, now blasted through, blocked. Still fighting for it, Griffin puts it over the bar. 2 good looks there for Griffin. The first better than the second, but blocked on the way in.
Yeah, and he probably had more time on his second one there. He imagined he has a good second after he takes his first touch. Orange County are probably a little bit slow to close him down on that second opportunity. It's good defending there on the first one. Ricochets here, and look, he has a little bit more time than he realizes before any Orange County players get close to him, close him down, but just ends up leaning a little bit too back and fires over the crossbar. But Pittsburgh on the front foot in the start of the second half.
Select is proud to be the official match ball supplier of the USL Championship. From the Academy to the big league, Select is there every step of the way. Visit us.select-sport.com for the latest product specials and more. Select, the player's choice. Long for Jacquesin and misplayed by Shuttler. Jacquesin takes it back, lays it off. Barnes gets it back, Perrin Barnes. Heavy ball through, chipped through, looking for Jacquesin.
Thought Barnes might have pulled the trigger there on his left foot himself. Just looked for the extra pass. Orange County doing a good job of getting bodies behind the ball and making it very difficult to get in between them or behind them right now. But the danger that we spoke about is definitely prevalent right now. Being 1 goal up, trying to defend that 1-goal lead and allowing Pittsburgh to have the ball and to create. They're definitely banging on the door right now, and so much time left in the game. It's a dangerous tactic to use. maybe the better approach is to go after that second goal and really try to maintain control of the game.
Silla. Amadou War. What's made this Orange County attack so potent as of late is every piece is finally fitting perfectly in terms of the vision Danny Stone has laid out. You look at Chris Hagart, he comes in and he plays as an extra 10 off the left side. Usman Silla is dangerous through the middle. Mohamedou War is a true out-and-out winger with speed down the right side. Zubak is a big target 9. Stephen Kelly comes out of the midfield with those late-lying runs and could be an impactful piece. Here he is now, wanting it from Usman Silla. And then you've got Ryan Dogman, who just burns up and down the left side and joins the attack on the overlaps. They just flood you with so many options. It's hard to keep track of it all. That's why they've scored 8 goals the last 2 games, 1 already tonight. Looking for another. Mohamedou War got up for it.
It's a great delivery into the box there. Just left it hanging in and around the edge of the 16-yard box. War just unable to time his header. But the quality on the service was perfect.
Charles All subbed in at halftime for Augie Williams. Ineffective tonight, Augie Williams. Only times we were calling his name were for less than ideal reasons. Fouls, yellows, a foul that led to the goal for Orange County. He had that one chance right before halftime, right after Orange County scored, forced Colin Shuttler into the only save he's had to make, and a terrific save it was. But outside of that, a rough night for Augie Williams after last week. He became the 4th in league history to 80 goals, and right now, doesn't mean a whole lot in the standings right now for Pittsburgh. They stay where they were when the night began, but a win would bring them all the way up to 3rd. That's what would sting tonight, an opportunity at home against a good, but still, whenever it's a Western Conference team traveling east, always difficult, but a good team nonetheless in Orange County. It was an opportunity to jump all the way into 3rd, and I think that's how Bob Lilly would probably look at it if this result were to hold. Yes, it's a difficult team, but yes, it's 3 points lost. Meanwhile, Orange County would go from 7th up to 5th, and depending on how some other results shake out, they're sitting right on the precipice of 2nd. It'd be a point back of 2nd place. Sacramento, San Antonio, and El Paso all on 27 as well.
Yeah, you can see how tight things are at the top of the Western Conference there. Only Tulsa, which I don't think anybody expected at the beginning of the year, to find themselves at the top by a significant margin.
Corner from Kelly, comes all the way.
Trying to bang on the door, which could leave them open and exposed. Chasing after that equalizing goal is going to mean that they're going to have to be a little bit less defensively compact and solid as maybe they would like to be.
Soccer season is here, and SeatGeek is the official ticketing partner of the USL. Get all your USL tickets and more from the #1 ticketing site, SeatGeek, your ticket to great seats.
Biasi there just on the receiving end of a late tackle from Hegger. Seems to be in a little bit of discomfort.
It's a handful of guys for Pittsburgh. For Bob Lilly, who is a coach who likes to tinker and always has been, but when he finds his guys, he's loyal to his guys and he sticks with them. And Luke Biasi, one of the few guys who's been that guy for Bob Lilly since the start of this season, and even last year as well. 27 starts last year for Luke Biasi, now 18 this season. You look up and down the 11, Sean Suber has started every game. Eric Dick has started every game. Danny Griffin has appeared in all of them. Only once he's come in as a sub, but 17 starts. Jackson Walty, 18 starts. Robbie Mertz, 17 starts. Augie Williams, 18 starts. So he has his core guys, 8 of them, that he starts every game and rides them. The periphery pieces change. There's a reason that fan has that shirt on in Bob We Trust. He's always managed to make all the pieces fit, and even some new ones that you figured out as the year goes along. The wingback on the other side, opposite Luke Biasi, who just took a seat injured. Perrin Barnes is really the telltale sign of that. First few games this season wasn't really featured, slowly getting into it, getting up to 100%. He started every game since then. Bob's found his guys, and really, this Pittsburgh Riverhounds team never gets too high, never gets too low.
Yeah, I think it's a credit, and probably why he's able to get so much out of his players in the end, is that he gives them the chance to figure things out, even through in different performances. When things are going well, things are not going so well, he sticks with them and gives them the opportunity game after game to try and work out and find the solutions. And I think that's what you're now starting to see, or began to see over the past 8 games, is things start to gel, things start to connect, you start to get that chemistry and cohesion, you start to get that compactness and the whole unit working together, especially defensively. Hence they are on a spell of being 8 games unbeaten.
Biasi back out there now.
There was a period between April and May when they went 6 games without winning. So they've had large spells where they've not won games, as well as the period that they're having right now where they're on 8 unbeaten. So it's been an up and down season for Pittsburgh, and I think the lack of consistency will be one of the frustrations, because if there's one thing you can normally gather from Bobby Lee's team, is consistency maybe one of their strong points.
Although second half of the season is usually where they band together and have their most consistency, which we've seen again this year. Now it's just a matter of riding this to the conclusion of the season over the next 2 months. This one out for a goal kick. Back behind the play, Ciota down.
I think one of the evolutions that we're going to see in soccer in the USL is going to be the implementation of the promotion and relegation. And as we spoke about, Orange County started tonight 5 points away from second position, but they also found themselves just 5 points away from bottom of the table, which in future years could potentially mean relegation. Being 5 points away from being bottom of the table is just a little too close for comfort. So it's going to really make what's at stake in each game, and the excitement, the passion, the energy, I think it's going to increase by tenfold, given what it's going to mean to really pick up points at this stage of the season, and what it's going to mean to be a significant margin away from the teams at the bottom.
Danny Stone having a chat with the 4th official. He felt the card should have been shown there as Ciota went down. From his vantage point, he felt there was a shoulder or an elbow up into the throat, chin area. Ciota still down. 19-year-old from San Diego, came up through Orange County's academy, making his 4th start now in his 7th appearance this season. Still on an academy contract, but he is playing his way into the good graces, and has been really for the last month or so, of Danny Stone. If he isn't able to continue here, one of the logical substitutions would be Coa Santos. See if that's the route that he would go. Danny Stone.
Big result, or not result, big scoreline across the table right now. Top of the table clash, Louisville versus Charleston. 18 minutes in, and Louisville already 2-0 lead.
Well, that's a statement possibly there. Philip Goodrum 3 minutes in. Jansen Wilson 16 minutes in. Those two teams met the opening weekend of the season in Charleston, a win for Lou City. But through 18 matches, Tulsa on 35 points. Lou City right now in the live table on 44, a 9-point cushion with 11 games to play, and Charleston right behind them on 41. It's one of those two teams who's lifting that piece of hardware this year.
It'll be criminal if one of those two teams don't take it all. Given the season they're having, the points gap that they've created between the rest of the table, winning the Shield, and you know, you really want one of those teams to take everything.
The way things are going, it'd be a pretty sensible pick at this point, though it probably would have been a sensible pick last year with Lou City and Charleston leading the way, and they were both beaten by Rhode Island in the playoffs.
We know it doesn't always happen like that. It could be really brutal and cruel come the playoffs, but you really do hope that teams can be rewarded for this level of consistency that they're able to produce over the course of 9 months.
By far, they've been the best two teams. They've been attached at the hip for good reason, and even chatting with other coaches around the league, I know I've had an opportunity to be on the call for some Pittsburgh matches over the last month, 4 of them. And Bob Lilly, any chance he gets, he's always talking about Louisville and Charleston in a appreciative way of how he wants certain things about this Pittsburgh team to look more like certain aspects of those two teams, because that's the team you're chasing. Those are the teams everybody's chasing right now.
They set the standard, elevate the others in the league to catch them, and elevate their operations, elevate their investment in budgets, player recruitment. And if you don't, you start to see what's happening this season, where there's a big margin over the course of 9 months that you see between. And a lot of that is the depth in rosters. If you look at those two teams at the top, the depth in their roster is pretty incredible. And Louisville are in a position where they're actually getting players who have been injured coming back to healthy. So it's almost like they're getting more signings towards the end of the season and able to get stronger in that aspect of things. He reacts. You can see how he gets reaction, but he quickly calms himself down and realizes, you know, right now we're in the lead. If we lose emotional control, if we don't react smart in these moments, if the referee starts to turn decisions against us, things can easily flip for them. And I think that's rightfully a yellow card from Hager here. Maybe the earlier challenge on Biasi wasn't as such, but I think this one, strong, a lot of momentum, force. I think the referee's made the right choice in that decision.
Hour gone, half hour remains. Glad to have you with us from Highmark Stadium in Pittsburgh with Chris Nurse. I'm Joe Mal for the lone goal. 40th minute, Ethan Zubak for Orange County.
And these are the moments where Orange County, having the lead, they'll take a little bit longer. They'll drag as many seconds as they can to try and slow down the momentum, not allowing Pittsburgh to gain confidence to try and get themselves in the game. So the ball goes out of play, you expect to see them take a little bit longer to get it back into play.
A little while ago, I think you mentioned Tampa Bay up 1-0 on North Carolina. That is flipped. North Carolina, 2 goals in the last 5 minutes before halftime. They're up 2-1 now on the Tampa Bay Rowdies. North Carolina, one of the teams Pittsburgh chasing right now for one of the home playoff game spots. Top 4 in each conference get a home playoff game. Former Pittsburgh Riverhound Louis Perez is the one who scored to put North Carolina ahead right before halftime on a penalty. Just taking a gander at the stats of that Lou City-Charleston game. And it's remarkable how Lou City essentially say what they're going to do, and you still can't stop. Danny Cruz and crew have said, we lived on the turf.
And going back to Louisville there, I think that's one of the strengths of Danny Cruz, is that he finds a way to prepare for each opponent individually. He did the same thing against Loudoun. We know they want to have the ball. They're at their weakest when they have the ball, because when they turn it over, that's what will turn his goal-scoring opportunities. They had 25% possession in that game. They won the game 4-0. 4-1, 4-0. Similar, as you mentioned, today's 30% possession, they're up 2-0.
Zubak went quickly as it was falling for him on the long ball. Good battle there between he and Sean Suber. Stay proud and sporty with Riverhounds gear, whether you're hitting the game or going out. Show your team spirit with exclusive merch. Find all your favorites at the merch booth or shop online at riverhounds.com.
I think it's one of the most valued attributes of a top coach is adaptability. While it's not essentially deviating from your game plan or recreating your game model every game, it's having the ability to adapt and to get your players to buy into what you're asking them to do.
Jacqueson wins it for Pittsburgh, centering it on the volley, saved. Rebounds there in front, put wrong side of the post. Shuttler with the big stop. The offside flag came up in the end. It wouldn't have mattered on that second effort. Charles All in the thick of it again, and Jackson Walty stepping up out of the midfield, joining that attack.
Great opportunity for Pittsburgh. The cutback is brilliant here. And All's timing, it's not All, sorry. The save from Shuttler, well positioned, parries it away from goal. Probably the best chance for Pittsburgh to get the equalizer.
Awkward one here, poked toward goal by Muhammad War. It's out for a goal.
Throw bodies forward, which makes them less compact defensively, opening up spaces for Orange County to hit them on the counter-attack.
Pair of changes coming for the visitors. Koa Santos and Bryce Jamison are ready to come on. It will be Koa Santos for Ciota and Muhammad War departing for Jamison. So 2 changes down that right side. Muhammad War involved tonight in a few attacks down that right flank. Not his best night. Bryce Jamison now, a young talent for Orange County, will take a spot.
Jamison is a player who will put you on the back foot. His ability to exploit the space behind with his speed, his ability to pick up the ball and drive at you. He pins the fullbacks back, so it's going to be interesting to see how Pittsburgh adapt to that. At the moment, with the three at the back and the fullbacks pushing high and wide, it does give you space in those wide areas. I imagine somebody's going to have to drop back and pay a little bit more attention to Jameson rather than being so offensive-minded.
Biasi.
It's a smart change here for Orange County to figure out ways to stay on the offense. It would have been easy here to just bring in two defenders and try to lock things up for the remaining 25 minutes, but they're still looking to find ways to attack and using offense as being the best form of defense in this game.
Cohen Markets corner kick. These set-piece opportunities have really started to mount now. 7th corner on the day for Pittsburgh. Mertz. Another empty set piece, but can they recycle something here? Walty. All delivers. And they can do it again. Another Cohen Markets corner kick, the 8th coming for Pittsburgh.
The fans getting behind Pittsburgh in this push to get the equalizing goal. You can feel the energy really pushing on behind them. Orange County going to have to stay very focused and concentrated in these last 25 minutes as Pittsburgh throw everything at them to get the equalizing goal.
Mertz, better service this time. The header, it's in! Knocked home at the back post. The center back's always the threat for the Riverhounds on the set pieces. Guillaume Factor ties it.
Set pieces have been the key influencer in tonight's game for both teams. A fantastic delivered ball into the box here from Mertz. And Vector arrives at the right time, just manages to guide it off the underside of the crossbar into the back of the net. Gives Shuttler no chance. The equalizing goal that Pittsburgh have been asking for finally comes.
The center back's always dangerous for Pittsburgh on set pieces. It's one to the other. It's Sean Suber with the glancing header who gets the assist. Guillaume Factor who gets the goal.
On the assist, also his first of the year, number 5.
A first assist on the year for Suber, a first goal on the year for Factor. It's 1-1 now between the Riverhounds and Orange County.
That'll be a blow into the stomach, taking a little bit of wind out of the sails of Orange County. Now it'll be interesting to see how they react. As we spoke about, the fans are behind Pittsburgh. You can feel that little sense of energy. You can actually see the players pressing with more energy and more purpose.
That goal brought to you by Cohen Markets. Game had a different identity from when Orange County made it 1-0 up until this point. A little bit more open, Pittsburgh more on the front foot. Now the question is, does it shift back to what it was when it was 0-0 and tied? Or is it too late to try and punch back now for Orange County as momentum fully slipped to Pittsburgh, where the Riverhounds can go on and look for another?
Yeah, we spoke about Bob Lilly getting a response out of his team at halftime, and he's definitely done that. Whether it's been with whatever was said, the changes that he's made, there's definitely been a response of them, and they've answered the question. But I don't think one goal is enough. I think they've got to go on and look for the 3 points in this game. For Orange County, as we spoke about, they made a number of changes, and I think bringing Jameson on it is a positive change. I think if they can get him the ball in those wide areas, because Biasi likes to pull wide, he likes to get high and wide, and if they're able to exploit those moments when he goes high and wide and find Jameson in behind him, I think that's going to be their route to success.
Floated, back post, knocked centrally, Shuttler keeps it away. I don't think that was going in, it was going across, but could have set up nicely for somebody else to tap it home nonetheless.
Yeah, on the other hand, Biasi's got way too much time. He drives down, he receives the free kick on his left foot. He cuts back onto his right foot under no pressure and drives it to the back post. It's a great delivered ball. The header. Again, a fantastic save from Schottler. Comes up big when he's called upon so many times for this team throughout the course of the season. Both of these keepers in the first half, they went long spells where they weren't really involved very much, and just moments out of the blue they come up and they're asked to make big saves, and they both answer the questions.
Here's Jamison.
Both goals scored, not situations where the goalkeepers really could have prevented them.
This one goes Orange County's way. It was a wide free kick just like this. They scored their goal on in the first half.
Yeah, dead balls deliveries have been key in tonight's game for both teams.
Stephen Kelly had the assist on the free kick that led to Zubak's goal in the 40th minute. 32 minutes later, it's 1-1. Can he unbreak the tie again? Floats it in, the header away defensively by Suber. Pardon me, by Edrach.
Probably just a little too floaty, that delivery. Needed to be whipped in with a little bit more pace.
You can't watch the match? Turn on Sirius XM FC 157, North America's only 24/7 source for engaging soccer talk, including USL All Access Tuesday nights, plus live matches from the USL, MLS Premier League, and more, all on Sirius XM FC 157 and the Sirius XM app.
That top of the table clash. Louisville 3-0 up on Charleston right now.
That's a statement to win. 5,116 fans in attendance today, make it 51-17 if you include Ammo as he ducks down in between the crowd. Sellout crowd here at Highmark Stadium.
The fans always do a great job of turning up to show their support behind this team.
80s theme tonight, fun, dollar beer night. That's always a good time, but that's not why there's a sellout tonight, to your point. These fans are always here in droves, showing the support for this team. Just a matter for Pittsburgh of finally getting that star above the crest. They've won this Shield in this league. Top team in the regular season 2 years ago. They're going to come short of that this year. It's either Louisville or Charleston that's going to take home that crowd. For Pittsburgh, can this be the year they go on and do it in the playoffs? That's just been the question for them year over year. Oh, they're going to turn the corner on Dogman. Flips it in front. Mertz is there. It's over the bar. Goal kick.
It's one of those moments where you connect with it too well. If he doesn't connect with it as cleanly and he probably scuffs it a little bit, probably finds its way into the back of the net because he connects so well with it. Just a little bit too much contact and it finds its way over the crossbar. But again, another moment where Pittsburgh continue to bang at the door.
Got a substitution for Orange County. Checking out number 8, Usman Silla.
Usman Silla will depart here for Tristan Traeger. It is an embarrassment of riches now that they're getting healthy and starting to click. And Orange County having the attacking part of the field to bring off the likes of Usman Silla and Mohamedou War in this game for Bryce Jamison and Tristan Traeger. I mean, look around USL Championship, Chris. How many teams are Bryce Jamison and Tristan Traeger set it and forget it starters for?
Yeah, and see, he's had a decent performance tonight as he has over recent weeks. Always involved in some of the most positive moments that Orange County have.
Pittsburgh preparing 3 changes of their own. Start funneling those towards you once they're communicated our way. Those 3 players all getting their final instructions from the assistant coach. Told it's going to be Junior Etu for Luke Biasi, Brigham Larson for Bertrand Jacquesin, and Bradley Sample for Jackson Walty. All 3 changes like for like here for Pittsburgh, so nothing will change from a tactical standpoint. Just 3 sets of fresh legs.
Yeah, definitely an aggressive approach from Bob Lilly here to go after the winning goal. Some fresh legs, like-for-like substitutions. See if they can get that extra push going into the last 20 minutes of the game.
Also checking out number 42, Jackson Walty. And now in number 50, Bradley Sample.
Larson, big-bodied striker up top. Hasn't really been able to find the net yet this year, find the opportunities. Limited minutes, only his 9th appearance, 33 minutes in those first 8 appearances. So his appearances few and far between, and mostly cameos. See if he could do anything here, final 15. After a goal each last week for Jacqueson and Williams, disappointing tonight for those two, never really involved. All delivering here. Brigham Larson just into the match.
Some good footwork from Heggett on the flank here. Thought he should have got the free kick, but the referee didn't blow. Ended up turning into a dangerous moment for Pittsburgh.
eFootball is here. Live your dream, rep your team, and play as your favorite USL Championship club. eFootball, free to play. Download now. Mertz keeps it in play, dodges the defender. Bounces favorably here for Pittsburgh after the clearance. But the foul was already called. The yellow shown. Free kick for the Riverhounds.
You do sense a surge in energy from Pittsburgh right now. Momentum clearly in their favor. This is where the leadership on the field for Orange County really needs to have an impact. The ability to stay tight and compact, to defend well and pick their moments to go forward, rather than getting a little bit disjointed and recovering late into positions. They really have to be proactive in their approach to defending.
Kevin Partito with the yellow. And the free kick. Jameson heads it directly in the air. Larson gets to it. Loose here. Vactor laid off. So dangerous with all those tall trees in the middle, the center backs, and now Brigham Larson coming in off the bench. Pittsburgh at any corners or free kicks the rest of the way. Every single one's a legitimate threat.
Those long diagonal balls, Pittsburgh able to win first and looking for the second balls. Orange County did a good job moments ago to get all 11 players behind the ball, blocking any shots, trying to grab the second ball inside the box, but the pressure's just building right now in favor of Pittsburgh.
Nice turn from Griffin. All. To more control, the ball now exerted by Pittsburgh in the later stages. To the point you were making earlier, Chris, back midway through the first half, the later this game goes tied, the more likely it would be in theory that Orange County say, let's at least take a point out of this cross-country trip. Now, in between you saying that and us getting here, they had a lead and squandered the lead. But still, the same principle applies. You don't want to come all this way and leave empty-handed, so it seems like they're in shutdown mode now, just looking for that point.
Yeah, with Pittsburgh throwing so many bodies forward, Orange County, when they win possession, they're wasting the opportunity to spring Jameson on attack or catch them on their counter-attack. They're winning possession of the ball, keeping possession and passing around the back, and then Pittsburgh are doing a good job of recovering defensively. When they throw bodies forward, when they're out of defensive shape, when they're disorganized, that's the moment that you have to use to try and spring Jameson behind to hopefully get that goal that can put you back in the lead.
Knocked down by Larson. All. Playing it through, flick down, shot for a handball. Referee was immediate in signaling that he saw it off the chest. Mark Verso.
Game management is the key for Orange County right now. Pittsburgh are taking more risks because they feel like they need to. They feel like they need to go and get that goal ahead hold. But naturally, when you take more risks, there's the opportunity to be exploited, and that's where you need the on the pitch. Since they've got the equalising goal, the performance from Pittsburgh has definitely improved in the way they're occupying spaces on the pitch and the speed that they're moving the ball, the confidence that they're moving with. They're now completely controlling and dictating the flow of the game.
That too. Delivering, curls out of play. In this second half, possession advantage 55-45 in Pittsburgh's favor. It feels like more, and sometimes you look at that possession number and it doesn't really match what the eyes are seeing. It has felt like Pittsburgh have been in total control of this entire second half.
Yeah, and the passes have had more purpose. They've been more direct, they've been more penetrative. The tempo and the speed of play has improved. All things that were not present in the first half, they've upticked, and especially since they got the equalising goal. And you have to include the energy of the fans. It really does become a 12th man in a situation where your back's against the wall, you get the equalising goal, the momentum shifts, the energy shifts, kicks you onto another level. Orange County backs against the wall, defending, trying to hold on and spring something on a counter-attack now.
These Riverhounds fans can join again next Saturday, August 16th against the Charleston Battery. It is the Spotlight Series game featuring Jake the Snake Roberts. Get your tickets at riverhounds.com. Edrach.
Second time Heggart's lost possession of the ball, trying to be too cute, thinking the referee's going to win the free kick, and he doesn't. And Pittsburgh get possession of the ball and go into attack. He has to be more responsible in his decision making.
Pittsburgh out shooting Orange County 15-3. Shots on target are just 4-1. But that one shot on target for Orange County was the goal in the first half. So they're in this at 1-1, or perhaps a split of a point each. On the road coming across country.
I don't think we can forget that even in the first half, despite Orange County being the team to take the lead, in the 40th minute, the set piece that got them the go-ahead goal, that was their first shot of the game. Not just their first shot on target, first shot of the game. So it's not like Orange County have performed outstanding tonight. It's just that they would be maybe more happy with this result being a tie, or they for sure would have been happier to walk away with 3 points. But in terms of performance, neither team has been fantastic this evening.
Especially being a cross-conference matchup, you don't mind just having the point. There's not as much emphasis on it as per se next week, where Orange County go on the road against Colorado Springs. Now that's a big 6-point swing. Orange County just above the playoff line. As of now, Colorado Springs just below that playoff line. Though by the time tonight ends, even that could change if Colorado Springs go get a result against the Oakland Roots.
Yeah, it's really difficult to predict what may happen. We look at both Rhode Island and Colorado and where they currently sit in the standings compared to some of the success that they had in the postseason last year, and the two just don't align. We look at Tampa Bay Rowdies and how they've been consistent over the years, and they are rooted to the bottom of the Eastern Conference, and it doesn't look like things are going to change right now, losing 2-1 to North Carolina. It's a year when so many things that you wouldn't expect to happen in the ways that teams are performing. Tulsa sitting top of the conference. Nobody would have predicted that at the beginning.
I think this gives you your answer here, Chris, as far as the intentions in these closing moments for Orange County. Bringing on two defenders, Vuk Latinovich, Ashton Miles, for an attacking midfielder in Chris Hagar, defensive midfielder in Kevin Partita.
Yeah, I think now they're trying to lock down the game. They realize they're under the pressure. They realize their back's against it, and they need to.
Tonight's attendance is a sellout. Thank you for another outstanding moment in Riverhounds history. All 5,166 of you.
Still 3-0 Lou City in the matchup of the day at home over the Charleston Battery. Back for a free kick here for the Riverhounds. Some other scores of note. Detroit City up 1-0, nearing full time over Indy 11. And Hartford are on the road up 2-0 over Birmingham. Hartford may be the hottest team in the Eastern Conference, excluding the big two of Lou City and Charleston Battery. Another massive result possibly for Hartford.
Picking up steam at the right moment. They didn't have a great start to the season, but they've definitely been kicking on the last few weeks.
From the free kick, over Larson's head. Pardon me, Suber at that back post. Hartford Athletic, as recently as 10 days ago, ahead of their midweek clash against New Mexico, were in last in the Eastern Conference. Well, this would be a third straight win since they demolished New Mexico 4-0 at home that night. So they'd pick up 9 points out of a possible 9. In the live table, they'd be sitting on 22 points in 7th. And the conversation for Hartford would go from being in last place to being on the brink of possibly a home playoff game. They'd be 5 points back of the Riverhounds, 6 back of Loudoun United for 4th place, and entering a completely different conversation. That's the nature of how tight the table has been this year. You rattle off a few wins in a row, you are completely changing the complexion of your season, and this would be 3 straight wins and 9 big points for Hartford if they hold on. 46th minute, up 2-0 at Birmingham.
And of course, that's what Orange County in the process of doing also. If this result remains, they're coming off a hot streak of 3 games, 9 points, picking up another point to get this four streak unbeaten, starting to change their fortunes and how the season's looking for them also.
It'll be 2 wins and a draw in these 3 straight games for Orange County in league play. 7 of a possible 9 points. Have them currently in 6th in the live table. Mertz down, was waiting for the play to be stopped.
As we've spoken about, though, with the table being so tight, you really can't get too complacent with your standards. You could be sitting in 5th and a couple of bad performances and find yourselves quickly outside of the playoffs and rooted to the bottom. But a string of 3 good performances, you can quickly find yourself up in the top 4. So you really have to stay humble and keep your feet on the ground at any moment, unless you're Tulsa or Louisville and Charleston, who seem to be in fairly strong positions to compete for number 1 right now.
It's going to be all for Robbie Mertz as he went down there. Jason Borgi will take his spot.
Subbing in for the Riverhounds. Firstly coming out, number 14, Robbie Mertz. And in his place, number 20, Jason Borgi.
This will be 9 unbeaten for Pittsburgh. He had another draw, though, in that span. 9 unbeaten in all competitions, 7 unbeaten in the regular season. But 4 of those 7 in this stretch of 7 unbeaten in the regular season would be draws. Still leaving points on the table. Perrin Barnes delivering it. There's different ways of looking at it. Yes, it's nice to be unbeaten, and every point matters, every draw matters. For Bob Lilly's group, won't be satisfied, especially with some of these draws coming at home where you want to pick up 3 points. As Jamison's brought down and advantage is played. Dogman. Yellow card coming here. It'll go to
for the foul on
Bradley Sample, yep, that initial one.
Referee allowed player to continue, I think was the right decision, but definitely saw the intent in the foul and brought back in and gave him the yellow card. Good refereeing.
It's a double-edged sword, going back to that point about all the ties in this stretch. 21 available points in 7 games. If they're 3-0-4, you're talking about 13 points from that stretch. If you had 5 wins and 2 losses, sure, you've got 2 losses, but you also have 2 more points at 15. So that's obviously the downside of all the ties amid this unbeaten run. And there's your look at stoppage time. 6 minutes of stoppage time tacked on here.
If the score stays it is, for sure, for Orange County, it's 1 point it gained. For Pittsburgh, you're walking away looking at 2 points dropped.
Pennsylvania 8-1-1 brings you these 6 minutes of stoppage time.
can see Orange County in no rush, no urgency to get this ball into play. As I said, them walking away from here with 1 point is not the worst result. Of course, they won all three, but they know that 1 point in this situation isn't a terrible result whatsoever. So they're happy to see the seconds tick off the clock.
Including a yellow here to Colin Shuttler for time wasting.
There was a yellow card against Orange County. Number 1, Colin Shuttler.
Those are the key balls. The midfielders in the center of the park have to take responsibility for winning those second balls. As you can see, Shuttler a little bit more direct in how he's playing out from the back. The midfielders have to do a job of reacting to those second balls. If they don't win the first headers, as you saw Jamieson didn't win it there, the midfielders have to win the ball and try and keep them in possession and keep them going forward.
Borgie deflected. And a corner for Pittsburgh brought to you by Cohen Markets. Another chance to get all those big bodies forward here in stoppage time.
Yep, set pieces have been extremely dangerous for both teams in this game. You can see the frame of Larson, a big target inside that box, whether he's the one attacking the ball or becoming a distraction to create space for his teammates. Another dangerous moment here for Pittsburgh.
Charles Hall whips it in. Not the best service. Cleared easily by Tristan Traeger. If you would have told Danny Stone he'd come on the road against Pittsburgh cross country, 3 shots, 1 on target, and he'd leave this building with a point, he would have said thank you very much, shaken your hand, and moved on from the conversation.
Probably before the game, he probably would have said he wants all 3 points. Looking at the flow of the game, and in the moments of the game, at the moment, he'd say thank you very much, we'll take the point and get on.
Boy, it's nuance as we get another Cohen Markets corner kick coming. Before the game, he would have said, yeah, maybe we'll take the 3. As it goes on, he says 1. But then when they had the 1-0 lead, probably back to saying, no, I want all 3. And now back to saying, all right, 1's okay.
Exactly. The ebbs and flows, but the objective is make sure you don't take the L.
Which is still very much in the balance here. Another corner on which Pittsburgh have already scored once tonight. Oh, better service this time, but right at Colin Shuttler. Last one, he didn't get it past the first man.
He knows what he's doing when he catches and goes down. Again, has to be careful because the referee's already booked him for time wasting. So we know most keepers don't release the ball in 6 seconds like they're supposed to. The referees don't imply the rules either because they like to take a little break at those moments also. But Shuttler has to make sure he doesn't take it too far.
Easy night for Eric Dick in goals. Faced just 1 shot on target. Trying to spring Brigham Larson here with this punt. Flicked away by Ashton Miles. Larson gets there again. He leaves it.
Into the last 60 seconds of the game here. And you just get a feeling there's still one moment in here that's going to be pivotal.
At 2. Jamieson can fly. He's got some space in front of him. Closed down quickly, though, by Bradley Sample. And maybe this is the moment you're speaking of. Final minute of stoppage time. Another Cohen Markets corner kick for Pittsburgh on the night. This is corner number 10. Already scored once. Supporters behind this goal ready to erupt for a winner if it's the moment. If not, Orange County would successfully come cross country and pick up a point. Charles Hall whips it in. The header over the bar. Oh, you said there'd be one more moment, but not able to cash in this time.
What a chance there in the dying phases of the game. Brilliant delivery here from Walt. Inside the box. Great connection on it, but probably just too much connection on it from Suba, and sees it go over the crossbar. If he's able to get that on frame anywhere, guarantee it's in the back of the net. And you can see the frustration in his reaction right now. He knows that was a big moment to steal all 3 points.
It was the last moment. Final whistle goes before the goal kick even comes in. So Pittsburgh and Orange County will share a point each this evening. Probably a fair result for these two sides. The unbeaten streak continues for Pittsburgh, in part because of your man of the match presented by Cohen Markets. It's Guillaume Vactor who scored the tying goal in the 67th minute. And as a center back, he did his job tonight, limited the opposition to just one shot on target. He gets the goal, and he is the man of the match.
Yeah, he rescued Pittsburgh. It was a really disappointing first half performance. They reacted well after going down a goal, and the second half was a vast improvement. But for sure, I think on reflection for Pittsburgh, 2 points lost. For Orange County, 1 point gain.
Tonight's smooth save of the game presented by Smoothie King. Rule of the day, well, we had to get creative, actually, because there wasn't a save made by Eric Dick in this one, so it's right there. That's a great grab by the supporter. Fantastic, celebrated. Only one shot on target this evening for Orange County, and it was their goal, so no spotlight for Eric Dick. It's that guy who gets all the love in this one. So it finishes 1-1 between these two sides. We're back in a moment to wrap things up from Highmark Stadium. Probably a fair result this evening. Pittsburgh remain unbeaten now in 9 games in a row in all competitions. Orange County, 3-game regular season unbeaten run. Bob Lilly coaching session doesn't stop when the final whistle goes. As his team gathered together, it's a point, yes, it's 9 unbeaten, yes, but another opportunity at home where they'll feel maybe like they left 2 points out on the table. Orange County, different story. They're going to feel like they won this game. Coming cross country, getting the point. Take a look back at the highlights from this one, how it all went down. The goal for Orange County came in the 40th minute of that first half. It was their first and only shot on target of the match.
Great delivery from Kelly here. Zubek rises at the back post, guides it on frame, low and hard, into the bottom corner, gives Dick no chance. First shot for the game, only shot for the game.
First and last, that's it. That is the only shot on target of the match for Orange County. If you could take a point and a 1-1 draw from one shot on target, we're going to sign up for that. Nearly undone moments later by Augie Williams.
Pittsburgh responded well here. Great delivery into the box, and Williams just uses the momentum of the ball, trying to guide it into the far post. Shuttler does well, shuffling across goal and pushing it wide of the upright.
And this is the moment where things started to change for Pittsburgh at the other end. Big save made by Shuttler on the shot from Walty.
Great strike here from Walty, but Shuttler just positioned so well, makes the save look straightforward, keeps his team in the game.
And then 67th minute, the goal.
Great delivery here from Mertz to the back post, and Vactor arrives at the right time. Just using the momentum of the ball, guides it on frame.
It always feels in draws, Chris, like one side feels like the loser and one side feels like the winner. I think that's pretty clear tonight. Pittsburgh will feel in ways like they lost this game. Orange County will feel like they've won it, even though it's a 1-1 finish.
Yeah, it took for Pittsburgh to go down a goal before they really started to react. Before they went down a goal, they didn't create many chances, hadn't had many shots at all. But after they went down a goal, they really did respond well, tried to take the game by the scruff of the neck. But as they've seen so many times this year, they really don't have that quality in front of goal to make these chances and the opportunities count. That's got to be what's got to change for them going forward.
For Orange County next week, it's a trip to Colorado Springs. For Pittsburgh, they're right back here at home against the Charleston Battery. A hard-fought 1-1 draw this evening between two of the more informed teams around the USL Championship. Glad to have had you along for the ride. From my broadcast partner, Chris Nurse, and the crew that makes this possible, I'm Joe Malva saying so long for now. Pittsburgh and Orange County take a point each on a goal each. Good night, everybody.
This copyrighted telecast of the United Soccer League cannot be retransmitted, rebroadcast, or reproduced without the express written consent of the United Soccer League.